How's it going, guys, and welcome to today's video. In a few minutes, these corrals are going to be full of cattle because today we are weaning the calves off of the cows. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. It looks like most everybody is already up here in the corral, but my fear is when I go out there to close the gate to lock them in here, that they're all going to try to escape. So I'm going to do what a few of you have seen me do before and just throw half a bale up here by the gate to distract them. And while they're busy with that, I'll try to run down there and close that gate. All right, well, we got them, and I gotta say that was way easier than it usually is, which I'm not complaining. Hopefully that is a sign of things to come, because the next thing that we gotta do is round them up into the working corral and start separating the cows from the calves. To get the herd into the working corral, the first thing that I do is run them up the west side of the big corral into the mouth of the catch funnel. This can sometimes be a little bit difficult by myself, but as long as I stay light on my feet, I can usually get it done. Once I've got the cows in the funnel, I can just push them and get them up into the working corral. All right, well, we got everybody in here now. So the next step is to separate the cows from the calves. So the easiest way that I have found to do that is to run the cows out first, because they've been through this corral system so many times that they know the exit. So if you just leave the gates open for them, they know right where to go. The calves, on the other hand, are a little bit more confused about how to get out of here. So if I pull the cows out first, put them back in the big corral, then I can take all the calves as one group and put them in their little corral. Judging by the sound of it, I think they're ready to go. So I'm going to put this camera down and get to work. Sorting the cows is done here at this little gate. As I mentioned before, once the gate's open, usually the cows are the first ones to try to go through. And all I have to do is kind of stand by and watch and make sure that no calves make it by. I'll let enough cows go by to fill the alley behind me in the top center of your screen. Once that alley is full, I'll close the sorting gate. Then get up on the other end of the cattle and open the orange gate to let them back out into the big corral. With the orange gate open, I can come back up to my sorting pen and push the cows out into the big corral. After all the cows have been released back out into the big corral, I can reset all my gates and repeat this process as many times as necessary until I get everybody separated. In the midst of all this, you still can't forget to stop and say hi to a friend. I've got 3 left in here that I need to get, and of course they're just bunching up in the corner and they're not wanting to cooperate. It's pretty much impossible for me to get to them without bringing a bunch of calves with. So the smart thing to do is to take a group of calves out and sort of reduce the amount of animals in this pen, and then that'll make it a little bit easier to separate the rest of them. Pulling the calves out is pretty much identical to the way that we get cows out of here. The only difference being that calves seem to move a lot better in a large group, so when I'm getting calves out, I try to bring as many as I can at once. Of course, with all the calves going out, these last 3 cows now think that they need to go out too, but we ain't gonna let them, at least not yet. Now that this alley is full of calves, I'll open the gate at the other end that'll put them out into the weaning pasture that they're gonna call home for the next couple months. At this point, I'm basically just repeating either process until everybody, calves and cows, are where they need to be. Well, that should help a little bit. I've got a much smaller group to deal with now, so let me separate these last few and we should be good. Right now I've got everybody locked in this little corral, and I'll probably leave them locked up for a few more hours. I just want to make sure that everybody knows where food and water is, so that when I do turn them back out in the pasture, they know where to come back to find those things. This manger looks a lot fuller than it did last year, but it looks like everybody's still got enough room to get in there. The cows are probably going to be pretty upset here for about 3 days. Usually they'll bawl like this. The calves, as you can see, it doesn't affect them as much, but they will get a little upset this evening when they're looking for mom to nurse. All in all, it's usually like we say, it takes about 3 days to get the bawl out. There is one thing that I can do to help these cows feel a little bit better, and that is feed them at the manger, because they're probably hungry as well as agitated. So I'm going to go do that now. Thanks for hanging out in the corrals with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.